Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited about today's travel video, as I am every week. And today I'm going to be talking about something that came to me actually a few weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, since I'm going to be traveling soon, this is, well, actually I should say, since I'm going to be traveling a lot in 2017, this is a perfect subject to talk about. So today I'm going to be talking about how to avoid travel scams. And as we all know, I don't care where you go, there's always somebody lurking around with some type of travel scam. And so I just wanted to bring you the top ones from, or the most common travel scams from 2016. So let's jump right on in. So number one is the broken taxi meter. Cab drivers near airports or train stations are known to pull the scam, but it can happen anywhere. When you get into a taxi and start to drive, the driver will inform you that the meter's broken and charge you a ridiculous price to the tune of hundreds of dollars if you're not careful. How to avoid it? Negotiate rates ahead of time, or make sure the meter is working when you get into the car. If the taxi driver refuses to turn on the meter or tells you it's cheaper without the meter, get out of the car right away and find another cab. Not all cab drivers are scammers, and we know that, right? So number two, overbooked or closed hotels. Again, this common travel scam happens largely with cab drivers. While en route to your hotel, the driver will tell you your hotel is closed or it's overbooked, and then take you to a more expensive hotel where the driver receives a very nice kickback. How to avoid it? Call your hotel in advance and make sure they're open. Ask if they offer shuttle service and then schedule a pickup. If your taxi driver still tells you the hotel is not available, insist that he or she take you there anyway. Tell him or her you already have a reservation, even if you don't. Number three, free bracelets or Rosemary. This scam tends to prey on female travelers, so ladies, listen up. A friendly man or woman will approach to chat and then place a free friendship bracelet on your wrist, or hand you a sprig of rosemary for good luck. Once you have it, they will demand money, and when you refuse, they will cause a scene. How to avoid it? Don't allow anybody to put anything on your body, and be extremely wary of accepting anything for free unless there's a good reason for it, especially in very touristy areas. Ignore them and walk away. And let me tell you how Michelle would handle it. Obviously, these people don't know who my mama is. So she taught me to always, get with you when the need arises. Meaning that if you did that and you tried to cause a scene, I promise you I'm going to cause an even bigger scene that will make you want to walk away and leave me be. But to avoid all of that, don't let anybody hand you anything or put anything on your wrist. And not only that, people should not be in your space so close that they can put something on your wrist. Number four, spills on your clothing. Common in Europe, a traveler will be walking down the street and feel something plop on their shoulder. Oftentimes, it's bird poop or a fast food condiment. Then a friendly stranger just happens to appear and begins to wipe off the offending mess while plucking your wallet from your pocket or your purse. How to avoid it? The best thing to do in situations like this is not to allow anyone to help you. Instead, go to a restroom and clean the mess off yourself. Number five, fake police officers. The fake police officer scam is a popular one in many large cities. Most often, a person will approach a tourist and offer illicit items like drugs. While conversing, one or two other people will approach, appearing to be police officers and flashing badges. They will then insist the unknowing traveler hand over their passport and wallet. However, they are not the real police. How to avoid it? Never hand over your wallet or passport. Let me put a pin right there. I don't know of any place that you can be stopped by the police and they're going to ask you to hand them your wallet for any reason. If you've ever been stopped and pulled over for speeding or a tail light being out or anything like that, that officer never asks you to hand over your wallet. They will ask you for your license and registration. So that should be the first clue that this is not legitimate, because they're not going to ask you for your wallet, and they certainly don't need your passport if they are legitimate police officers. I'm sorry, let me get back to my notes. Request they show you their identification, and then inform them that you're going to call the police station to confirm that they are who they in fact say they are. Or tell them your passport is locked up in the hotel safe and they'll need to accompany you to your hotel. If they don't allow this, simply walk away. Number 6, attraction is closed. A common travel scam in major tourist areas. Some friendly local who just happens to speak excellent English will approach and inform you that the attraction you want to visit is closed for any number of reasons. Religious ceremony, holiday, maybe they're doing some upgrades, whatever. Then they'll guide you to a different attraction or shop where you're pressured to purchase something or pay a lot for entry. How to avoid it? Instead of taking the locals' words, head to the ticket counter or shop to see for yourself. Or ask someone else nearby for confirmation. Number 7, Friendly ATM Helper. Someone approaches at an ATM cash machine to help you avoid local bank fees. What they really want to do is scan your ATM card with their card skimmer that's in their pocket and watch you enter your PIN so they can drain your account later on. How to avoid it? Never let anyone near you while you're making an ATM transaction, and always cover the number pad with your other hand while entering your PIN code. If someone approaches you, take your card and go find another ATM ASAP. Number 8, injured or child beggars. Usually deaf, blind, or pregnant, sometimes accompanied by a helper. Beggars will ask you for money. Women with babies are common. They might not even be theirs. Children are also frequently used by begging gangs to collect money. Why? Because it's difficult for most people to say no to the elderly, the injured, or the young. Sometimes an accomplice nearby is just watching to see where you keep your wallet so they can pickpocket you later on. How to avoid it? It's practically impossible to distinguish who is legit and who is not. So, the policy should be never give cash to street beggars. However, you can purchase, they say they're hungry, you can purchase them something to eat or give them something to wear. Let's say you had a spare sweater on and you didn't mind parting with it because they were cold for some odd reason. It's okay to do that. But so because you know your money isn't going for some illicit activity or just to put in their pocket because that's their job. Now, I had a few years ago, I was on my way into the CVS across the street from my house, and a lady stopped me and she says, "Excuse me, I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I'm really, really hungry. Do you have any extra cash?" Well, first of all, for me, there's no extra cash. Everything I have, I need. Let's be clear about that. So I said to her, I said, "No, I don't have any cash on me. I'm paying, you know, with plastic." And maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I did. And I said, "But I tell you what, when I come out, I'm only going to be a few minutes. I will walk over to the Popeyes to get you something to eat." Now, mind you, the CVS is here, right? Popeyes is like right here, short walking distance. And I said, "You know, I'll be more than happy to get you something to eat." Girlfriend looked at me with a stink eye and she said, "I don't want no Popeyes." That's the attitude she gave me, mind you now. She said she was hungry, she hadn't eaten in a couple of days. And she gave me that attitude. She said, "I don't want no Popeyes. I want McDonald's." I'm thinking to myself, you say you're hungry. You haven't eaten in a couple of days. Popeyes is right here. Right here, maybe all of 15 steps and we would have been at the front door. So you try to tell me you just want me to hand you some cash because you're going to go 4 miles up the road to McDonald's, or the other one that's on Martin Luther King Junior Highway. That one probably is about maybe 5-6 miles away. So you mean to tell me that you have no car, you haven't eaten in a couple of days, you don't want Popeyes that's right here, but you want McDonald's? I said, "Lady, you know what, going on somewhere, because I know this is a scam, and I'm not about to give you some money, because guess what? Also, kind of right across the parking lot to, well, if you come out the front of CVS to the right, there's a liquor store. I'm not dumb. That's where you were headed to, or you just trying to get some money. Either way, you weren't getting nothing from me." So needless to say, we ended up getting into a confrontation, and I know how I am. I know how my attitude can be. I said, "Well, you know what? I could stand here and cuss you all day long." And after a while, I did get tired of doing that. I said, "But I'm just going to pray for you, and you need to go on about your business because I'm going about mine." And I kept going. So you got to be careful. Number 9, group photo offer. While hanging out in a busy tourist location or landmark, a local offers to take a group photo of you and your friends. As you're getting ready to pose for your awesome new Facebook photo, you look up and realize your new friend has completely disappeared with your expensive camera. And trust and believe, they know expensive cameras from the ones that are not so expensive. Here's how you avoid that. This one is kind of tough because you really need to read the situation. And, you know, I have traveled quite a bit in my lifetime, and I've had people say, excuse me, can you take a picture of us? And because I work in Washington, D.C., we get a lot of tourists during the summertime, and you know, it was not uncommon for someone to say, excuse me, do you mind taking a picture of us? I said, sure, no problem. What button do I push? That's all I need to know. You tell me what button to push. I make sure everybody's in frame, focus, hit the button a couple of times, take a couple of pictures, hand the camera back, and I'm going about my business. But that's because I'm not a thief. I'm not going to steal your camera. So you do have to be kind of careful because everybody that looks like they're nice may not necessarily be. Okay? So, and so, you know, it's not uncommon for someone to hand over a very expensive camera to other people for a group photo, but it's always, so according to, what I found was it's always the individual, be it me, be it you, whoever, that's asking that person that's walking by to take a group photo. Be leery of someone walking up to you saying, hey, can I take a group photo of you all? Because trust and believe, they've already peeped the camera that you have and have already decided that they want that camera. So you be the one to initiate that. And that's not to say they still won't run off with your camera, but still, you know, it's more than likely not to happen. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Busy city attractions are the most risky places for this. If you have to travel, ask fellow tourists instead and return the favor for them. Or you can be like me. Okay, I have not one but two tripods, and I love my tripods because one of them, in fact, the one that I'm filming on today, when I fold it all the way down, it's probably about this long. So, you know, it's still a little too long. But I have another tripod that I normally use that I'm not using because I can't remember what I did with it. But I need to find it so I can take it to Cancun. But anyway, that one, when I fold it all the way down, it's about maybe this long. So I could actually put that in my purse. If I have a bag that I'm carrying with me, I can put it right in there. And the camera that I have, because I have two cameras, the Nikon that I'm filming on, I'm not sure if this one has it, but I know my Canon has it such that I can set it up to take a time photo, and I'm almost certain this Nikon does too. So I said all that to say I can set up my tripod, set my camera up, set it to take a time photo, so allow me to hit that button and then run and get into place and take the picture, and that way I don't have to ask anybody to do anything for me at all. So to me, that's the better option. Number 10, fake Wi-Fi hubs. While you find Wi-Fi almost anywhere these days, some of these free unlocked connections might be dangerous. Hackers will set up tempting unsecured Wi-Fi hotspots in public locations that unsuspecting victims eagerly connect to, giving the thief access to your computer, your passwords, online accounts, and even more. How to avoid this? Always ask the hotel/coffee shop/airport staff which Wi-Fi connections is the official one, especially when you see a tempting unlocked connection. To encrypt all your online activity, use a VPN, or it's also called virtual private network. And there is a good one called ZenMate that you might want to look into. Number 11, motorbike rental damage. After you rent a moped or a scooter, it gets damaged or even stolen overnight. The owner will demand additional payment or expensive repairs as compensation. What you don't know is that it was the owner or his friends who caused the damage or stole the bike from you. How to avoid this? Take photos of the bike first to document previous damage. Use your own lock, not one that's provided by the rental guy, who may have a second set of keys. Don't tell the company where you're really staying, and make sure there's a safe place to leave the bike overnight. If damage does occur, take it to a repair shop recommended by someone other than the owner of that bike or that scooter or moped. Number 12, fake bus, train, plane tickets. Someone offers to sell you train tickets at a discount, or to avoid a line and pay a slightly higher price. Maybe a taxi driver offers to bring you to his friend who is a local travel agent. However, the tickets they're selling aren't real, and by the time you figure it out, the scammers are gone with your money. How do you avoid this? Always buy transportation tickets from the official ticket office or website, and always, always, always select your own travel agent. Now, I'm not talking about when you're at home, because, we do recommend people. But I'm talking about when you're traveling. Never let your taxi driver or some random person you just met say, oh, I know Claude. Claude's a great travel agent. You may want to go see him about getting your a cheaper plane ticket home, especially if you bought a one-way ticket. And to be honest with you, there is some benefit to buying one-way tickets as opposed to round tickets, but that's a whole nother video. So, number 13, gemstone or carpet deals. A local man casually brings up his lucrative side business of buying jewelry, gemstones, watches, or carpets, then selling them back in the United States for some other country for a nice profit. He offers to share how he does it and shows you where to find the best deal. The only problem is that these products are fake. How to avoid it? Don't buy expensive luxury items overseas while on vacation, no matter how good the deal is. Remember, if it's too good to be true, it's probably a scam. Number 14, fake hotel wake-up calls. While staying at a hotel, you get a call from the front desk in the middle of the night to confirm your credit card details. Only it isn't the front desk calling. It's a scammer who will drain your accounts when he makes a copy of your card using the details you've given him or her over the phone. How do you avoid this? Never give out credit card details over the phone, period, point blank. Go down to the front desk in person the next morning if there's a problem. And chances are the front desk is not going to call you and ask you to verify your credit card number over the phone in the middle of the night. They just aren't. Because when you check in and they took their card, and chances are they swiped it either for the first night or if not for your entire stay. So if there was something wrong with the card, they would have known that then. Sometimes we just have to use a little common sense, And I understand if somebody calls you in the middle of the night, you may not be thinking clear, but we need to be thinking at all times. Number 15, last but certainly not least, the flirtatious local woman. You arrive to a new country only to discover that beautiful local women seem to pay much more attention to you than back at home. One of them invites you out to a nightclub or a bar. However, after a wild night, the woman disappears and you're forced to pay an overpriced bill, or worse, you've been drugged and or robbed. How to avoid it? Be wary of attractive women who are usually forward or hitting on you, who are unusually forward or hitting on you aggressively. And let me put a pin right there. It's not just women. Ladies, y'all be careful of attractive men doing the same thing, because it's not just women out here doing it. Let's be clear. There are some men that do this as well. And because, it's every man's dream to be propositioned by a beautiful woman, or vice versa, for a woman to be propositioned by a handsome man. But if it's not a normal occurrence for you, then it's probably a scam. And I'm not saying that to say that maybe you're not worthy of it, you're not attractive enough. I'm not saying that at all. But if you don't normally walk around having people just falling at your feet and wanting to buy you a drink and, hey, let's go to a nightclub, then, you might want to really watch that. And be careful about pulling your wallet out around people. Don't be that guy or that woman that's treating for the meal, treating for the drinks. No. No. You're going Dutch. You know why? Because you don't know them and they don't know you. And I have to say this. Don't let them buy you a drink or a meal. Because sometimes people say, well, I spent a little money on you, so now you owe me something. No, I don't owe you anything. First of all, I'm not even going to have a meal with you because I don't know you. Secondly, even if I allowed you to buy, and I don't drink, but even if I did and I allowed you to buy me a drink, trust and believe that's all you're going to do is buy a drink, and then you're going to go on about your business, so we don't have any problems, okay? So those are my tips on how to avoid travel scams, and I hope they help you. Because like I said, travel season will be here before you know it. We're already moving towards the end of January. And, you know, travel season is just a busy season, not only for travelers, but for scammers. Because guess what? Trust and believe they are already somewhere plotting on how they're going to take your money and anything else that they can take from you. So always be vigilant, always be aware. And here's my thing. I would never travel someplace and ask local people, oh, well, where can I go for this and where can I go for that? Because you just never know who you can trust and who you can't. Stop at the front desk, ask in the lobby, the doorman or somebody in that hotel, hey, you know, I really want to see the culture of this island or this city or wherever you are. Where's the best place to go? And use their recommendations, because you know they live there, and they're, as far as I'm concerned, they are trustworthy unless they give you some other reason not to think that they are. So just have to be careful of who you ask. And I will say this, and then I'm going to leave you be. When you are on a cruise, if you ever do the briefings, they usually have like a briefings meeting for each port. And or at least I know they did last time I was cruising. But they told you about different excursions. And one of the things that they caution people about is wandering off. Because I know sometimes people go, oh, you know, I've never been here before. That's just like going to Cancun. And I'm saying, oh, you know, I've never been to Cancun, and you know the resort area is nice, but I want to see how the people really live. Now, I don't really need to see how the people really live, but some people do, and so they venture off to these back roads and side streets, and then, you know, God forbid, they get robbed, they get beat up. Sometimes they probably even get killed. So I would just suggest this. When you are traveling, stay on the beat and path. Do not venture off because you want to see how the natives live. Go look it up. I'm pretty sure there's a documentary somewhere or a website will tell you all you need to know. Stay with the group. People are already aware that you are a tourist because of maybe the camera hanging around your neck, or you just look like a tourist, you have a map, I don't know what it is, but they can tell who the tourists are, and you do not want to set off all these bells and whistles and end up having trouble later on. So those are just my tips on how you can avoid scams. I wish you all a very happy travel season this year, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for always supporting me and supporting my channel. If you stumbled across this channel by accident, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I have so many great things coming up, and I do not want you to miss anything. And I mean that. I don't want y'all to miss nothing, because I have so many great things planned for this year. So having said all of that, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.